forgot my
I would say
name.
your name was Maya. I don't know.
Oh, she's just trying to be one of us. I've seen enough of the world.
Yeah.
I came to.
And none of the boys either.
Sorry.
Andrea's boyfriend. Are you watching this?
Back in Pakistan, we call it the Muslim shower.
You know, I was shocked. I was shocked by the
And a Punjabi dance.
Punjab is.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I got married also. But anyway.
Both will get this podcast cancelled. If you're watching this, you know it.
I would date for content. Like, if it looks like water, I'm just going to tell you it's vodka.
Maria's mom.
Just be talking about my sexual life. I'm on the couch and then not showering. Then not showering. Podcast, I do want people to like send me Bumble, swipe me, swipe. Why did I say yes to this? So then you have to dance on it. And you're just like, okay, get the angle.
That's how she buys it.
Can you look at the camera?
My lips are. Welcome to another episode of the Masala and
Salsa
with Andrea.
and Priyanjana.
And in the episode of today, we're having a new guest. And she's
Maria. I'm sorry, I forgot my
I would say
name.
your name was Maria. I don't know. It's Maria.
It's Maria in my country. It's Maria in France. It's Maria in Italy. So whatever.
Maria, for those Spanish speakers that are listening to or watching the podcast. She's coming from Pakistan.
Wait.
She had done a master's also here, but I think it's going to be better if she introduces herself. So why don't you tell us a little bit of yourself?
Okay. Yeah, I'm Maria. I came from Pakistan for my master's in the same school in Lille. And I did my master's in sustainability. I came back to school after 10 years because I did my bachelor's in Pakistan in 2013. And then 10 years later, I was like, hey, but I'm missing all those assignments, you know? So then I was like, okay, let's do this. So yeah, and then I'm here.
Okay, cool. Huh?
Yeah, another millennial on the podcast.
Yes.
How does it make you feel, Andrea?
Amazing. You know, like we're on the same club and just like on the same, like.
Yeah, that's why you make me sit here.
Wait, you're also
Yes.
millennial?
Yes.
Oh, lovely.
Unfortunately, yes.
So back pain all the time.
Not there yet. It's only knee pain. Huh?
Okay.
Lower back, knee, that I also have, please.
Oh, she's just trying to be one of us. That's just what the Gen Zs are doing. You know, they're taking our problems and then just being like, oh, hey, we came up with this.
No, darling, I have osteopenia.
Okay, you win.
Yeah.
But this is like a question for both of you because, you know, you both decided to pursue your master's at nearing 30s and you in your 30s. How like, what made you take that decision?
Do you?
No, you go
Okay. So basically, I think I was working for 10 years and it was like a bit of a saturation. And this is the answer I also put in my admission form actually, that we were learning about sustainability back in Pakistan and at work, but it was at a very slow pace. And I kind of wanted to fast pace that up and learn
Did it
more.
fast pace it up? We'll have to beat this one.
It turns out I knew quite a bit. But yeah, so that was one of those reasons. And also I just felt like I haven't seen enough of the world.
Yeah.
I came to...
And none of the boys either.
Sorry? No, I've seen enough of that.
Okay.
The word has seen it.
Yeah.
Maybe that was one of my reasons that when I decided to come into a master's. No?
Andrea's boyfriend. Are you watching this?
No, I'm kidding.
No, but because you came to school after such a long time and then from, you know, part of Pakistan and then you're suddenly in a European country. So what are the cultural shocks that you saw as, you know, a Pakistani and also like a person who came to who started studying so late in life?
Yeah, so I think I've traveled to the European side, like I'd been to Germany and Italy before, but living somewhere and traveling somewhere is just so different. So I think I hadn't accounted for that. Like I knew there would be no Muslim shower. We call the jet spray back home Muslim shower. One of the cultural shocks for me was that apparently, so do you know the jet spray? You guys know the jet spray?
Yeah.
You know, of course, you know
the
the
Indian audience.
Yeah.
Desi
So
audience.
back in Pakistan, we call it the Muslim shower. And then I came out in the world and I started asking people, hey, what are you doing without the Muslim shower? I have no idea why I thought that was great small talk. But turns out nobody else. Okay, the Indians don't call it Muslim shower, I understand. But then I met a lot of Muslims like from other countries, and I'm like, you also don't call it the Muslim shower. Why do we call it the Muslim?
For our audience, it is a bidet, which is actually a French thing, but French don't use it anymore.
Oh my god, the other culture shock is basically not having the toilet and the bathroom in the same place. I don't think I can ever come to terms with that. I've been to Germany, at least the sink is in the same spot. I'm just like, once I use the toilet, I don't want to use my hands to do anything. I just want to wash it. So that is one big culture shock as well. The banking system.
Okay.
Okay, firstly, the joke about you need a phone number to open a bank account and you need a bank account to get a SIM. And I was just like, what? The chicken
How do I do
come,
this?
like, what? And also, like, I remember I went and put cash in my account when I did finally manage to open it. And it counted the money and it gave me a receipt. So they know exactly how much money I've put in. And then my account says it's coming. For 2 days, my account is showing the money is on the way. And I'm like, on the way from where?
I just put it
I
there.
come from Pakistan. You know, we are not a developed country. We're a developing third world country. Say whatever you want to, but my money comes in like immediately. Like my office people put the money in and it's right there. And I'm just like, where did I go? My family, I would tell them these stories. They're like, you're lying. You didn't go to France. So yeah, that. And school-wise, one big culture shock for me was the intensive, extensive courses where they were just like 4 days of 4 hours and then you're done.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what? I'm here for the whole what am I going to do rest of the semester, right? So that for me is a bit of a tricky one or an interesting one.
But also, like, I think what you did in your bachelor's is quite different in what you did in the master's. How was that?
So in my bachelor's, I did economics and political sciences. That's what my degree says, but I just partied in my bachelor's. But also I was working in like communication and sustainability for a really long time before this. So then my master's in sustainability kind of brought it all together. Economics and political science is very like, we don't have a lot of options for bachelor's also. So it is one of the good ones to do, which is kind of, leads you into businesses or corporate jobs and stuff. So it's not completely unlinked. I think it's more of it opens up kind of your mind, and there's more sociology, anthropology, and a lot of social sciences and humanities in that.
Mhm.
So, this was maybe more of a business side, but because it's sustainability, it's I think less of the business side anyway. So, yeah.
And how does it feel to be, you mentioned the Muslim shower, but navigating your identity in a country as a Muslim woman when you've come to, their cultural shocks. And of course, we are used to the Muslims that we have in our country.
Such as,
I was shocked. I was shocked by the fact that I didn't notice that there were Muslims in India.
And
actually, India has a bigger
Yeah,
Muslim
she was
population
explaining
than
to me that.
Pakistan.
And I'm like, what?
India
Really?
is like probably the second most Muslim country in the world, like the population of Muslims in the world. Because our
Because the population.
yeah. So like Muslims are the second minority in our country, but even if like 10% of Indians are Muslim, it's like 5 countries in Europe.
Yeah.
Like my ancestors, they were actually from Pakistan. So when like the partition was happening, and the situation was tough, so they decided to move to India because they were Hindu. So it just made sense at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, like this, I say a lot of times that I connect sometimes more to her than I would connect to people from south of India, because we don't speak the same language. We don't have even though she's Muslim and I'm not, but we have like the language is same, the food is same, the culture is
Yeah,
same.
you also speak Hindi.
I mean, they speak Urdu.
What is this mix of, I don't know, languages, countries, whatever is in...
So two times, just adding 2 more things as well. And Pakistan also has Hindus, by the way. Even people get shocked by that as well.
Yeah.
And my dad was actually born in India because he turns 80, inshallah, next month. But he was born in India. He was 2 years old when the partition happened. And
Your dad?
Yeah,
2 years old?
My dad was 2 years old
in India.
when the partition happened.
So
the
what part
Indian
of
side.
India?
Gujarat. There's a
Gujarati Muslim.
yeah, technically Gujus.
So is
There's
someone
watching? Okay. Yeah, Zoran Mamdani she means.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm not getting anything.
Zoran Mamdani, his family is also from Gujarat.
He's an Indian Muslim who just became the mayor
That she
of New
knows.
York.
She's
Yeah.
been watching his.
He's cute. Everybody knows. It's
Yeah,
pretty
those
prevalent.
dimples. Oh,
So, sorry, but your question was?
How like in Hindi? I didn't know that you
Yeah.
were speaking.
yeah.
So we speak the same language. I can't read so Pakistani language it's called Urdu,
Okay.
and there is this called Hindi.
I mean, India also has Urdu.
Yeah, India also has Urdu.
Many others.
It's like I think 90% the same language, the one that's spoken, but the script is completely different. So I can't read Hindi, but I can speak it and I can understand it.
Were you gonna write?
No, my script is Arabic.
Okay.
It's just always so interesting to explain it to
Yeah.
people. So my script is Arabic.
So you write from right
yes,
to left.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And my name here is also like this is Urdu or Arabic. You'll never know because I don't know either. But I and I can read Arabic because I mean I grew up reading the Quran and whatever. But I don't know what I'm reading, so I can't technically understand Arabic that way.
Like
and yeah.
we read French as English
Yeah.
alphabets.
Yes. Exactly.
So you can understand like it's written like you can
You can
identify
read
the
it.
alphabets,
Yeah.
but you don't know what it means.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
know what it
between-
sounds like.
Yeah. So that's Urdu and Arabic.
Yes.
But Hindi and Urdu, they are pretty much similar, even
Spoken.
in terms of speaking, but the scriptures are completely different.
Yeah.
I did pick up Urdu, so I could like write a few things, but I've forgotten it. I had a classmate who taught me, so like alif, be, page.
Oh wow.
So
Sweet.
so I started a bit of it, but it was so difficult, and I only did it like for a month or something, and then we parted ways, so I could not continue studying with him.
Hmm.
So I picked it up just for fun.
Okay.
Yeah. So I could read some parts, but I cannot. Also, you also speak Punjabi, right?
We have Punjabi in the country, so the region of Punjab, and that's where I went for my bachelor's.
Yeah.
So Punjabi is, I mean, I could
Pretty much-
understand it.
Punjabi is also a meal, no?
What?
Is a what?
What?
Is a meal.
A meal, no?
Yeah, like food,
You
Punjabi
see?
food.
I know
like
things.
Punjabi
I know
dance.
Punjab is
Wow.
Okay. So Mexico is a region,
Mexico is a country.
and Mexico is a country, and then you have Mexican food. So that way, Punjab
Yeah.
is a region, and then you have Punjabi things.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Punjabi,
like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then India also has Punjab, and,
And
Pakistan
Pakistan
also
also
has
has
Punjab because that's where the British came and decided to draw a line.
Yeah. So
Love you
My-
guys.
yeah. So my part of family is like from the Pakistan side of Punjab. So they were from Chenab, and hers is from like the desert region. Like her father was born in the west. Yeah, west of India.
I have no idea. I wasn't born back then.
So that's how it works.
Okay.
So
cool.
I wanted to ask you, like, how it is navigating your life here, because here you are also meeting other internationals, not only Muslims but from other countries, and that kind of cultural shock of, because I'm sure you've never met an Indian before you came here.
Yeah. Actually, recently I was talking to someone about that. What country, what nationalities did you meet before you left your country? And I was like, for me to meet an Indian, there is, I think, just no way except
Yeah.
to leave the country. And because
Through Bollywood.
and I mean, I have grown up watching, like, consuming, eating, living, breathing Indian television, movies, content, everything. So I just grew up believing that India.
Karan Johar's world is real.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I got married also. But anyway, because he said love is friendship. And I was like, hey, that makes sense. Anyway, so I grew up believing that, we're the same people. Also, the kind of OTT content that's coming out, because that's a lot more real, right? Like the stand-up comics and all of the other like content on the platforms. So I was like with the same people. And then I met them and I was just like, okay, all of us are not the same. Some of us are similar. So, and like the kind of love that I feel that my country, I mean, other than the politics and whatever, the army, if you remove that, the general people in Pakistan, I feel that we have a lot of love for India, or we had, I don't know, but we have a lot of love for India, but just things, whatever, in this year or whatever. I just felt like sometimes Indians would just be like, oh, we don't know as much about Pakistan. So for me, that was a bit of like, I met you and you knew stuff. I've met a couple of other people, but I've had a lot of Indians say to me, oh, we don't know about Pakistan.
Yeah.
It doesn't really exist for us. And I was like, oh, that's a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it also makes sense because how like for you guys, you could watch our movies.
Yeah.
We could only watch Coke Studio.
Yeah. All the TV dramas, which
Yeah.
we don't watch, but I've heard like
Yeah,
some
like
people
in India, like my
feel that.
mom, she watches all these Pakistani TV shows. So, but the thing is, Pakistan's film industry is not as. I mean,
Yeah.
India is the biggest film
Yeah.
industry in the world.
Mhm.
So
I
we
mean, in
produce.
Bollywood or South or Tamil, please be like clear.
No, that's what I said. The entire Indian film industry.
Yeah,
We produce
yeah,
like 20,000 films a month if you combine all, like, Bollywood, South Indian cinema, whatever.
Okay.
So that's why it's easy to like
Yeah, that's
for them to take it. But because Pakistani film industry is not as big as, well, it can't be as big as
Can't.
India because it's
Anyway.
like, so we don't really get to watch that much. And
Yeah.
what we watch is, what we are shown. So it depends from the perspective. So sometime you will get a real perspective, sometimes you won't. And most of the time we see Pakistan in our spy movies and war movies. So
Even we see Pakistan in those. We're like, oh, hey, representation matters.
so it's not, I mean, like in Hollywood movies, how Russians are.
Yeah.
So it's like that. So we don't see it. So apart from that, but your cultural shocks as meeting people like French people, Mexicans, Colombians.
Yeah.
Because we went to an international school, so you met a lot of
Yeah.
nationalities for the first time.
Yeah. Yes.
Anything specific for the French?
I think so. There was a stereotype that we grew up hearing about the French. Actually, two: one that they're extremely racist, and B that they stink,
And we
And-
what?
that they smell really bad.
Okay.
You both will get this podcast.
I have not it's not like anybody's been racist towards me, and I don't mean to say that in a way that people are not correct about that. I'm just saying it's not my experience,
Mhm.
and I feel like it's been very similar to how it would be back in Pakistan in terms of somebody is just a little more rude than the other. So I'm just like, oh, is it racism or is it just them having a bad day? So I've not had that much of an experience with that, and even people's thinking like I have friends who are like literally showering all the time, and I'm like, what kind of French are you? So that I didn't really have that. My culture shock has been how people want to plan things in advance, like weeks ahead. Like, oh, French people also, no? Europeans in general just want to like really plan things ahead. No, okay.
I mean,
I have-
that's me too.
No, but
Have you
like,
seen my calendar?
I'm just like, how will I know I want coffee next week at like 3
but
p.m.?
that's funny because for my experience, like hanging out with French and things like that, it's not like, oh, I want to do this next week and I am gonna put it in my calendar because they don't actually plan.
Mhm.
It's like whatever comes during the day. Are you available for tonight's dinner or whatever? And they say that then they arrange things.
Oh.
But that sounds like a French.
Oh. Yeah.
Germans,
I mean,
yes.
Germans for sure.
I mean, with me, it has been the case. Like every time I meet Europeans and French, like they put things in the calendar and we decide. So they plan. At least
Okay.
with the French experience I have had, they all plan.
Maybe like if it's like, I don't know, something that will
Or even like to
take...
get drinks. How I was supposed to get drinks yesterday, but the man cancelled. But if you're watching this, you know it.
You screwed up, yeah.
No, I'm meeting him next.
Oh, okay.
Again. So he
gets another opportunity to
It's funny because he and I were supposed to get drinks last Wednesday. He said, I'm sick, so let's do it next Wednesday. I put it in my calendar. And today I text some other person and he was like, oh, no, these are friends. These are friends.
okay.
These are friends. So my ex-boss,
Okay.
and he's his friend. So he's like, oh, so I see you on Tuesday, right? I was like, wait, what? He's like, with him. I was like, what? I mean, I'm seeing him on Wednesday, so how can I see? I mean, I'm okay, I'll see you on Tuesday as well. But they were like, oh no, he changed the date and he just forgot to tell me. So that's my only one experience with French people who've like done this. But otherwise, most of them, they are fixated on the times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Different experiences then. Different French.
Punctuality also. I mean, I feel like because that's such a weakness of mine, I really am just like, wow, they're so punctual. Like, they just come on time. And I'm like, I'll be 15 minutes late and then I end up being 30 minutes late. It's like, isn't that like, it's a really bad habit.
Like Latinos.
And also their humor is very different. I mean, I don't know what their humor is at this point. So I do stand-up comedy sometimes on the side, or I think that I'm very funny, whatever. But sometimes I even say it in interviews that my aim in life is to do stand-up comedy in French. and then do stand-up comedy for French people, because I think that's just very different. The French humor is very, like, I've tried my jokes on them and they start explaining like, no, but, and I'm just like, it's a joke.
You just laugh.
Just chill.
So now you do stand-up comedy for English audience.
Yeah, for English audiences.
And how
yeah.
has that journey been,
Yeah.
like, to enter that market?
It's been good actually, even back in Pakistan, because technically English is our official language, because like I mentioned, the British colonized us and they left us with a lot of English.
Yeah.
So even back home, because the ones who maybe go through like private schools and stuff, we do speak a lot more English. So even back home when I was doing comedy, it was a lot of English and Urdu mix. It's just that you build the whole context in English and your punchline is in Urdu, because that hits, or that's, that comes out the best because it's technically your first language. So that's been a bit challenging to make your punchline still be as strong and land and still have it come from the heart, because unless it's coming from like the heart, it's also not going to be as funny for other people. So that's been challenging, but otherwise I feel like it's a lot more liberating, because the kind of conversations I can have here is a lot more different from what I would have in Pakistan. I mean, I do male bashing either way. The country doesn't matter. But here I can talk more about my dating experiences, which I don't have as yet, but I am going to, because I need content. I would date for content. Like I feel like something big is missing in my life.
Maybe you should not have said this, because if this goes on YouTube, you won't get more dates now.
which also works. Still a story to tell. But yeah, like, if I don't really talk sexual or anything, but if I had any of those incidents to share, or just even be a little interesting about religion, like we can't have those conversations in Pakistan. So that would be that's something interesting, and that's the territory I want to charter into. It's like,
Yeah, but
we have another comedian on the show. I don't know if you guys know. Sorry, go on.
No, I just wanted to give you a shout out that she also helped me write my first stand-up comedy set, and what she said was similarly difficult for me, because I had to write my entire set in English and I've not done comedy before. So it was so difficult, because every time I would think of a story and I'm like, the punchline comes out in my native tongue, and I could not. So it would just take longer to set up the joke.
Yeah.
So yeah, but she's my teacher, my guru.
My God.
Now, so coming back to, how you said how you love Bollywood, you've engraved with it. And when we have two brown people on the couch who love Bollywood, we have to have a rapid fire. Like, it's not coffee with Karan, it's water with masala and salsa.
Hey, we're having shots.
We could have done chai,
Don't guys.
But it has caffeine, no?
Yeah,
if this looks like water, I'm just gonna tell you it's vodka.
Maria's mom, are you watching this? Okay, so I have a few rapid fire questions for you. Are you ready?
Okay. Am I the only one answering, or you guys?
Yeah,
Yes.
no, you are the
okay.
only one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You are the guest,
Oh, okay.
and I will be Karan.
Oh, you're gonna just be talking about my sexual life. I'm on the couch also.
Yeah, exactly. You want to manifest anything? The couch of manifestation.
Choose me. Love me. Astaghfirullah.
Okay, so the first one. France, Pakistan, and your ex. If all three were burning in the same room, who are you saving first?
The room?
What?
No.
France,
The next
Pakistan,
room. No. France, Pakistan, and
and your
my
ex.
Yeah.
Which ex?
The last one.
No, I mean, Pakistan.
You'll say Pakistan?
Of course. Any day.
Okay, one French habit that you secretly love, but you will not admit.
One French habit that I secretly love, but I don't admit.
It's a rapid fire, Maria.
Showering. I'm not showering. What? I'm kidding. Oh no. Oh God. Oh.
How many days I can take it without shower?
Okay, I have to follow up on that. How many days have you been without
Yeah.
shower?
I can understand if it's in winters, but
Oh. Yeah, winters.
Yeah, summers are so hot. I
Yeah,
shower like
can't
3
be
times.
summer.
Sometimes. Okay.
Let's keep this for after the podcast. I do want people to like send me Bumble, swipe me, swipe me.
Okay, what is the bigger red flag? When a guy says you're from Pakistan and he says, "Oh, I love Indian food,"
So many times. I love you.
or wears a cap indoors, which is a bigger red flag.
I mean, I think the cap indoors would be a red flag. Maybe the India Pakistan one is just like stupid. So I'm just like I'm not going to waste a flag on them. You know.
If your life was a comedy special, what title would it be?
Oh, I've known this all my life. So in our language, it would be "Kiska idea tha ye," and that translates into "whose idea was this?"
Okay.
And because basically my life is just in between, like, what's the worst that can happen? And why did I say yes to this? So again, my first stand-up, that's how I also started it with in the same language, but also here, like, why did I say yes to this? Or whose idea was it? That's going to be mine.
Okay. Rank the nationalities in the order of their flirting skills. French, Indian, Pakistani, Mexican, and if you want to add English, German, anyone you want to add.
I think Mexican would be up top. I think they're like the...
Tell us more about how they have been flirting with you.
No, this is not based on my experiences.
This is your rapid fire.
But just by the way, you know, when you're funny, which I kind of am, you're cool. This is not mine. This is like Eliza Schlesinger, that comedian who said this. When men are funny, their pool increases. When women are funny, their pool decreases. So nobody's hitting on me when they do. They're like, oh, you know, you're so pretty. And I'm like, I know. Like, why are you like stating facts here? And then I'm like, okay, this is what happened. So
Maybe it's a brown person problem because every time I do things like that, she's judging me so hard. Like, oh, that guy was flirting with you. I was like, was he? Yeah. And then she's like, when I'm talking to someone, like, do not bully him.
oh, that's the fun part.
Well, no, then she's complaining like, why don't I have a partner? And it's like, because you don't pay attention to those opportunities.
We don't want the ones that are interested. We want the ones that are not.
Yeah, let me have a chase.
I love the chase. I love the chase.
Okay. A stereotype from your country that you say is 100% true.
I think the being late is 100% true. Being like punctuality is yeah, not.
Okay. Masala or salsa, who gives more main character energy?
Men.
Main character. Yes, I like that. I'm going with that. There's a lot of main character energy. I'm sorry, I had no other way of insulting you.
I mean, in most Bollywood movies, male are the main character, so it makes sense. Okay, last one. Complete the sentence. You know you're a brown girl abroad when?
Oh, you know you're a... Man, these are difficult.
And you thought Karan had it easy? People on the couch had it easy?
When you run out of words, because like sometimes I want to say stuff, but then I'm like, I don't know the language for it, and I'm like going between the different languages, and I'm like, which one do I have to say? Like maybe that, I don't know. This is such a bad one. Cut this one out. You know you're a brown girl when you do small talk with Muslim shower. What do you do without water in the toilet? Yeah, that was literally my first conversation with Ramesh also. And then when I look back and I was like, Maya, what were you doing? Like, how do you think that this is your intro?
Wiping your ass is the best.
Just like, yeah.
Are you still using your bidets here? No.
I carry a water bottle everywhere, okay?
Okay, I'm saying it one time on the podcast, and I will not. Even back in India, I would use both of them.
Okay.
So I use water first, and then you use the toilet paper to wipe it.
Yeah.
Now here, I just use toilet paper, and I can't tell you how amazing it feels. Like as soon as I land in India, I was like, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
And also, like in Italy, they use bidets. I'm like,
then you have to dance on it, and you're just like, okay, get the.
That's a different type of bidet.
with that piece.
Oh
I don't know what type of butter is what.
It took me a while to get the angle right, but
That's what he said.
not to me. She said I wasn't listening because I don't listen to men.
Okay, so I think that's the end of our episode. But before that, I mean, we have
Let's taste her.
yeah, we have 3 brown women who love spice, and so we wanted to check who has a better spice tolerance. So I'm gonna take a bite and see, and then you guys do it.
Oh my god! No, special.
That's how she buys it.
Guys, where? Which one?
Okay, you guys are taking time. We have to drink water as well. This way, I am the one who's red.
I'm good.
I took the veins and the seeds.
Oh, so good. I want
Okay.
more.
You want more? Okay.
I actually do. It's really good. I already knew that I was gonna win it. So
What the fuck?
Okay, so Mexican loses.
No, bro.
Even
you
Eric
took,
laughed.
no, try it again. You took only the tip. Top.
Oh, that's so good. Mm-hmm.
She's dying inside. Look at her.
The shirt and the face are like the same color at this point.
Look at her.
I have become a white woman.
Oh,
But it's okay. Like, yeah, like my face is burning, but I like the thing.
Yeah, man. My tongue is really enjoying it. It's been a while.
Yeah, but I think okay.
No, my
so
my lips.
my lips are okay.
My tongue is red.
Like I feel the burn, but I like the burn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Mexican loses. She's crying. Oh my god!
Oh my
Can you look at
Oh,
the camera?
My lips are. I don't know.
She must have,
Yeah,
put it on the
exactly.
lips. We ate with our teeth. Don't bring
I
lips
know,
in.
Because we know how to eat.
Because it's been a while for us.
Are we still talking about this?
Yes. Mummy's watching.
Okay, that's the end of the episode. I think we should end it now. But if you want to say something to the audience or any advice you want to give, one-liner, quick one.
Just because I'm 35, you think I'm capable of giving advice? Really? That's
Who
one way of
knows?
saying you're really old. No, man, no advice. Like, don't listen to advice. That's my advice.
Fin de l'épisode.
What is
À la prochaine.
À la prochaine.
À la prochaine. Oh, yeah. So, did you take it or did you not take it? What? Oh! Oh! It's so good.
Have it.
I already knew I would win. I had this with Eric at one of the food festivals.